For joining us, taking the time out to come and to talk to the young rising stars. We're looking to make a joint announcement next week on the undercard for Mayweather-McGregor. Obviously, Gervonta is going to be the co-main event, so we're very excited about that. And shoot away.
Gervonta, usually when people are at TMZ, it's always negative. You're always on there with big sensational celebrities. Tell us about you and Drake.
Actually been great.
Yeah, take it from the phone.
Yeah, actually been great. Working with Drake, working with some of his guys, strength and conditioning while I was in Houston. And we actually went on there after that, so it felt amazing just having a guy like him beside me and backing me.
Gervonta, you show no signs or indications of not being able to handle all of this attention. That may not have been the case like 2 years ago when people were concerned about the lights, the cameras, and everything. Is that the case? And when did that happen that you really feel like you were able to handle all of this?
I believe I was born for this. I don't think I was built into it. I think that it's either in you or it's not. And I believe that what I've been through in life, it helped me, and keep it humble. So I believe I was built for it.
Do you feel the same way about your actual performances and fights? Because there may have been a fight or two before you fought like Pedraza, or before you fought, over in England, where maybe you weren't poised all the way through. But before each of those fights, you said this is what's going to happen, and you were very efficient in accomplishing that.
I believe that I was new on TV and things like that, so they was giving me opponents, and I was fighting on them opponents' level. But I believe that once I continue to fight and go up scale, I believe that my skills that y'all didn't see yet will come out, and that's what made me pay-per-view star.
Was the two opponents specifically the fact that they were both undefeated, the level of competition, their skills, and they challenged you, or what?
I mean, I just feed off their skills. If I'm fighting a born fight, then that's what makes me born. But if I'm fighting somebody that's action-packed, then that's going to bring the best out of me. So it's based on the opponents and the action.
Gervonta, you're obviously still very young, but you're also an accomplished champion. What we've seen a lot with accomplished champions recently is they're just not fighting as often as maybe they want to or we want them to. And younger fighters generally fight more often. How many fights per year would you like?
It's really up to me.
Just like ideally, forget about like negotiations and politics. I'm just saying.
Again, I can't. It's not.
Stephen Leonard, they're not here. No one's here. It's me and you.
I have the best team in boxing. I believe. I think we've been doing great. I'm undefeated, and I want to stay this way.
No, we want to see you. That's why I'm asking.
Yes, but it's up to my team and making the right decision. Again, I'm 18 and old, 22 years old. I want to fight, but I think I've been fighting a lot.
Yes, you have.
No, I wasn't saying you weren't. I wasn't saying you weren't.
Yeah,
it's just not everyone at your age gets a strap suddenly and has people not want to fight them. That's sort of unusual. It's a good thing, but it's unusual.
Well, when you're as entertaining a fighter as Gervonta is, things get to happen because not only you got fans putting pressure, you got network putting pressure.
Networks putting pressure. Who would do that?
I mean, Another good pressure, but we know he's an entertaining fighter. He gives the fans what they want to see. He's taking fights at a level well beyond what you'd expect at 17, 18, 19 fights in. So look, he's got a long career ahead of him. But I think we all agree, in discussing his career, the best thing is to keep him busy and keep him learning and moving forward.
Did that dynamic, though, in terms of learning, and then also the fact that he's also already a champ, make it difficult for getting an opponent for this upcoming co-main event? Or at least factor into the process?
He's getting to that point. I'm not saying that he's super avoided, but it is definitely, after the last two performances in particular, it's definitely becoming more difficult to find guys to fight him.
Because I think a lot of people tonight thought we were going to get to find out who the opponent was, just because it's getting close to the fight.
Yeah, I mean, the key thing is, undercard is set. I think, really what the promotion had decided is so as not to take away from tonight's fight, which is, a super high level event. To keep it quiet, we probably would have announced it earlier this week. It's definitely set. Gervonta knows who he's fighting. He's done a real good job of not letting it slip out.
The sunglasses help for sure.
Yeah, so it's going to be someone, with all the fights on the card, who has an ample time to prepare. This is not a 4-week opponent. They've known. It's just one of those things that, by some miracle, we've been able to keep it a secret until the time we wanted to announce it.
August 26th is the biggest fight of our lifetime, Gervonta. I don't think we're ever going to see these kind of numbers. 2 years ago, you fought in front of 1,000 people. Now you may fight in front of 1 billion people. How does that feel?
It felt great. Actually, my last fight, I said that I would be a pay-per-view less than a year. And so happened. My last fight, I'm on pay-per-view. So I'm very thankful to have the men that I have that's backing me, my team. Just feels amazing, and I'm ready.
Tank, you're from Baltimore. When you turn on the news, you don't always see positive stories. How does it feel being a positive person, having your own billboard, the Under Armour deal, things like that? And what did you learn just coming up from being raised in Baltimore?
Just having a billboard up itself just shows that where I come from, the kids that I used to know with, and things like that. Just showing them that, wherever you're going through, just stay focused. Wherever you're going, stay focused on that. And somehow you will make it. I got a lot of DMs now. Just when they see my billboard, it make it feel like it's them because they've been around me. We went out to eat with them. I'm actually still in the city of Baltimore, doing great things. So it gives them more motivation.
Along those lines, Gervonta, that's a huge responsibility for anybody coming from the background you came from. But for a 22-year-old, how do you handle that, and what does that mean to you to be, a role model like that?
It's an honor, this life or what I've been through, and I'd rather have this on my plate, than where I used to, in my life, So it's all about just staying focused and continue to motivate, continue to put smiles on people's face in a good way. And just giving these kids motivation, giving them that not father figure that they don't have, but just a big brother, just giving them that motivation.
You still walk in the neighborhoods?
I'm not in the neighborhoods no more because I'm getting bigger. So I'm definitely still in Baltimore City.
Now, Gervonta, in your earlier in your fights, the first few fights on television, you kind of went out there, you bombed your opponent out of there pretty quickly. You showed that you could knock guys out. But in your last fight, you showed, excellent boxing skills, and you showed that you had defense and you could do basically everything that a world champion should be able to do. Now, do you feel that you want to display more of those skills, or are you trying to excite the fans and keep going out there and getting these knockouts so people can know, you know, how hard you hit or whatnot?
I'm just here to do my job, you know, and that's put on a great performance every time I step into a boxing ring. You know, whatever the fans like, that's what we're gonna give them. You know, and that's explosiveness, you know, and impact fights. And that's what I'm here for.
Speaking about entertainment, I was watching Showtime International, your fight in the UK, and I see the ring entrance, and you come out to Michael Jackson's Billie Jean, and it was incredible, highly entertaining. Is that something, a ring entrance like that, can we expect from you going forward?
I believe that it's going to get better and better. You know, I believe that that's exactly. I think that's what boxing missing too. You know, and, I'm here to bring back all the things that boxing is missing, even the ring, walking to the ring, even in the fights. You know, calling out fighters. I'm really not into calling out fighters, but you know, I'm trying to bring back all around the board. You know, what boxing is missing.
How you doing, Steven? This is for either Steven or Ritter. The hardcore fans want to know about the undercard. So you're saying that the undercard is set, but when will you announce it?
We're scheduling an announcement this week. You know, again, it probably would have been done this past week, but we didn't want to sort of, you know, part of the challenge of doing an event as big as Mayweather-McGregor, it tends to overshadow just about everything in its path. So we wanted to make sure this fight got the attention it should have. So we postponed it a couple of weeks, but we do expect that there'll be an announcement this week.
So will hardcore fans be excited about this undercard?
I believe so. You know, this is it's a big opportunity for the sport of boxing. There's going to be a lot of fans who probably never bought a pay-per-view of any kind before, and that's one of the reasons that Gervonta's in the co-feature, because it's guaranteed excitement and entertainment. He's just got a very fan-friendly style.
Connecting to that fan-friendly style for a second, Gervonta, you've got a knockout rate of 94%. That's higher than almost any world champion today, more than Golovkin, more than Kovalev had. Do you consider yourself a fighter who looks for the knockout? Do you like to bring the hurt to the other guy, or you're just trying to win, see what happens, and if the knockout comes there, you'll take it?
I'm definitely a fighter that if the knockout comes, then I'll take it, but I'm never looking into a fight that I'm gonna knock this guy out. You know, that's actually how, when I first signed with Al Heyman a few years ago, a lot of guys that I was coming up with, they was getting knocked out by, you know, cab drivers because they was going in there looking for the knockout, and they wind up getting tired and getting knocked out. So I never look for a knockout. I just go in there and do my job and capitalize on their mistakes.
In your weight class, do you think there's anyone who can punch as hard as you?
I don't think no one can punch as hard as me in the sport.
Thank you.
Do you think Floyd knocks out Conor?
Huh?
Do you think Floyd knocks out McGregor?
I can knock out McConnell.
Talked about being the hardest puncher in the sport, and you said to me at one point that nobody in the division could handle you. That was before you fought Pedraza. Would a Lomachenko be a dream fight? Would you want that fight? How far away do you see that happening, and how far away would you be talent-wise and ability-wise from winning that fight in dramatic fashion?
I believe that the Lomachenko will happen eventually, just at the right time. You know, I believe that Lomachenko, not to say not a bad fighter, but Lomachenko's still fighting in the MGM, that whole 3,400. You know, we looking to fight people that's bringing a lot more than 3,400. No distance Lomachenko. He's a great fighter. And down the road we will meet. If not, my career still will be successful.
How's that fight go?
I'll be on top. I believe that.
Now, Tank, you have kind of like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type of personality. We see you, you're smiling, jamming to music, but I talked to some of your sparring partners, and when you get in that ring, you turn on the animal. So how do you balance the two, where you're like cool, calm, and collected, but then when you get in the ring, I talked to Jose Vargas and different people that sparred you, and they said it was some work. So how do you make that switch?
Every time I step into the ring, it's kill or be killed. You know, we're in a business where you're not. Well, I'm not in the ring. You know, it just show what I've been through and coming up. Me, you know, just being able to release it in a good way. You know, in a sport that I love. You know, so it's either that or back into the streets, so that's why I bring my emotion into the ring.
Right here, Gervonta. There's a big elephant in this room somewhere. You want to talk about it? You know what I'm going to say, right? You see the hat? Feel it?
Where?
Tevin Farmer?
Where you at?
I don't know. Yeah, that's what I'm asking you. What's up with it? Is there something you want to tell us?
August the 26th.
Oh, did you just spill the beans?
August the 26th. Oh, we're not fighting Tevin.
Right here.
Kind of bouncing off of that, man. Obviously, you know, the Philly people and a lot of people want to see you and Tevin Farmer fight. If you're not fighting the 26th, when will we see that fight? That's something that everybody's been asking for some time now.
Let me answer that. In boxing, you know, things don't always happen when some of us want it to happen. Everything's about timing. You know, guys continue to win, eventually they'll meet up. That's how it goes in the sport. Tank's career is going to continue to move forward. He's going to fight the best available competition that is out there, and he's going to continue to give the fans exciting performances. Whether Tevin Farmer is part of that, we'll see. You know, we are focused on Tank being the best Tank can be, and with that being said, going out there and putting on those great performances. Everywhere we go, that's all people are talking about is the great performances that he puts on and how exciting that he is. All this, we don't get caught up in this calling names out and all that stuff. And every fighter calls this fighter out. That stuff don't mean nothing. We don't operate and run a business that way.
Now, you guys won a press tour. Steven, you became a fan favorite. Leonard, Conor gave you compliments and he took shots. Gervonta, you won a tour. Did Conor tell you anything personally when he saw you?
He called me a little bitch.
How did you respond to that?
I just laughed at him. I was just happy to be there. You know, just at the press conference. It was an event, so it's going to be big August the 26th.
And one more question. You once sparred 4 people in one day. Tell everybody here what you did to those 4 people in Tennessee.
I broke their nose.
4 noses in one day?
Yeah.
4 noses in one night.
How did that happen?
Kill who killed.